Hello, this is Teacher Wayne and I'm continuing my Unity 2018 series on a zombie survival game. In this video it's quite a simple one. I'm looking at the prefabs, the zombie prefabs, and resolving some of the issues to do with how they move over the landscape and move around and interact. And I'm just going to go over some of the things I've found and some of the solutions that I've come up with. Alright, so let's press play. So we can see on this particular scene that we've got one zombie. He moves towards us, attacks us, and we take damage, and that's great. That's what we want. So we've got the zombie here, and what I've done is in the game, I've created a prefab folder, and I've dragged and dropped the zombie down to create a prefab. So every time I click apply, it updates the prefab. And then what you can do is, what we want is multiple zombies. So I'm going to drag multiple zombies onto the scene. Got 3 now. Now watch what happens when I press play. All 3 of them move towards me. Each individually hurt me. Yeah, they're all working, but can you see how they're all merging over each other? There's no collision detection taking place between them, which is not what you want. So that's the type of issue I want to quickly overcome. So let me get rid of these 2 for now and go back to the zombie. So if you look in the zombie, we've got a capsule collider. So you may have triggered ticked or not, it doesn't really matter. Let's go back, sorry. What we want to do is we want to ask a couple of things. First of all, we want him to sort of stick to the landscape, and we want him to not to collide with have a rigid body, so that he doesn't collide with the other zombies. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to add a component called rigid body. Rigid body, there you are. And you see it's ticked gravity by default, but watch what happens when we press play. Oh, he's fine. If you press play and he starts to fall through the ground, you see what he's doing, he's walking on the spot. So there's some issues here. And then look, you get this sort of things. If I just click game, if I go there, you see he starts floating about. It's not really working very well for him. What we need is him to him to move around on this landscape properly and interact. It's quite funny. Let's add a few more of them. Press play, then we get a bigger feel what's happening. Make sure we just check that one's got. Let me just check. They all should be clones of each other. They haven't. I've not updated the script. Hang on a minute. Let me just stop that. This is going to be careful about that. Get rid of these 2. This zombie here. I'll click apply, and then it'll update the prefab. And now all the prefabs will be the same. Press play. They've all got rigid bodies that have gravity. But look, they're not moving. Is that attacking? And they just start to act in a very strange behaviour. This is quite funny, but not very playable. Let me get rid of these 2 again. So how do we resolve some of these issues that you're going to get? Well, the answers I've come up with, go away, is I'm going to grab that rigid body. Now I'm not saying you have to do this, I just find that if I move it further up here, the script, and reapply it, just check that goes through. Yes, it's gone through. We need to look at something called nav mesh. Now Unity's got a beautiful way, and what's known as uses the A-star algorithm using something called a nav mesh agent. We're not actually going to be using that, but one bit we want to do is a zombie not to fall through the landscape and interact with the landscape properly. So we're going to add a nav mesh agent to it. So click there, and we just tap in nav mesh, and there's the agent. And here we are, all sorts of bits and pieces. This humanoid figure, and we're just setting up as a nav mesh agent. And if we look at the landscape, the terrain, and we click navigation, we click bake, and we click bake, start to bake the landscape. Hopefully, let's see what happens when we do this. Now this has got a nav, hang on, zombie here. This has got a nav mesh agent. I want to click apply, so it applies it to the prefab. Check the prefab's got it applied. Sometimes it doesn't. There's the nav mesh agent. If I drag and drop 3 of them, no point testing it with one. Press play and see what happens. They are moving. Let me just go into scene mode. They are sliding on the landscape not correctly. Well, they are moving. But they are finally, are they colliding with each other though? That one's attacking. I just want to see what happens. And he's wondering, he's got, I'm not having a lot of fun, are they? Well, that one's moving forward. They're bumping into each other now, and they're not overlapping, which is a good thing. That one's attacking me now. They're not, so can you see they're actually they're not actually clashing with each other. That's a good thing, but they're not really sticking to the floor properly. He's attacking. It's not perfect movement, but it's certainly a lot better than it was before. Some sort of stuff is interacting. So we've got, because they're agents, they're spotting each other as separate entities. Let me just get rid of these two again. Delete them. Go back to the original prefab. We've got a nav mesh agent. We've got capture collider. We probably don't need this anymore. We can technically remove it. Just want to look at one more thing. There's something I spotted earlier. Let me just remove that. I've removed the thing. We might put that back on another stage. I want to grab that. Let's just drag some more zombies on. Put them near each other. Press play. Move closer. Now they're gonna, let's get this scene. Well, they're not merging with each other. They're keeping their own separate boxes. Let me move myself back a bit. I mean, so slide yourself backwards, see how they respond. Let's see what this guy does here. Alright. Let's slide and move across. It's sort of, these two attacking, it's sort of merging a bit with my nav mesh thingy. That seems to be better. Don't exactly know what this guy's doing. That one there. What are you doing? Let's bring you. Yeah. What are you going to do? You see, he pushes him out of the way, which is good. So they're all got separate. That's better mechanics anyway. So I've resolved some of them by using. Is this guy? Oh, he's still attacking. It's because he's outside his sphere of vision. So anyway, I've resolved some of the problems I've got with it. Yes, I'm definitely dead. That's just this is Teacher Wayne just saying these are some of the solutions I've got. I'm not saying this is perfect. I'm not saying this is works all the time. I'm just saying this is a solution applied to the game I'm making, and it's by using this rigid body, using gravity, and then having the nav mesh agent and clicking navigation and baking it. When you bake it, by the way, you get all this stuff, funky stuff. So anyway, this is Teacher Wayne saying thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.